Tonight, they had gathered for the annual selection of beasts, a grand display meant to spotlight the deadliest predators across the known galaxies. As always, representatives from distant worlds had come to showcase creatures that could rend flesh in seconds, swim through the heat of a star, or survive the deadliest poisons. High Counselor Vark, his iridescent scales casting a faint glow of superiority, presided over the event with evident disinterest. He gave a dismissive glance at the holographic display in the center of the platform, where videos of various predators cycled. A lightning snake from Alacros slithering at impossible speeds, a Shillick spikehound from Galna 5 with venom potent enough to melt bone. These were the galaxy's best. And what of Earth's offerings? Vark murmured with a sneer, triggering laughter among his fellow council members. Earth, to them, was a planet of primitive creatures and squabbling factions. Vark tapped a clawed finger on the display, and with a shimmering ripple, the Earth selection began. The first video displayed a lion, standing over its kill with a powerful roar. Next, a jaguar prowled through a forest, silent and unseen. Then, a great white shark flashed through the waves, ripping through its prey in a frenzy of red water. The counselors watched with mild interest, exchanging glances that quickly turned to snickers. These beasts lacked true potency, Counselor Drun intoned, her voice dripping with condescension. Her long, translucent limbs shimmered in agreement with her words. A lion? A mere flesh-eater of limited range. And the shark is impressive enough, but it's confined to one type of habitat. Several council members nodded in agreement, amused by the inadequacy of Earth's champions. They scoffed as they watched a grizzly bear lumber through a forest and a pack of wolves take down an elk. To them, the predators of Earth appeared quaint, primitive. Interesting, perhaps, for a nature documentary, but no match for the galaxy's true apex hunters. "We will allow Earth to send a representative," Vark said, his voice dry, as if humoring a child. "It may amuse the crowd," his tendrils curled with smug amusement. "I imagine some poor creature will come ill-equipped and provide a brief but entertaining display." The council laughed, but their laughter died down when an alien courier entered the chamber, holding a message in his hands. With a slight bow, he handed the message to Vark, who read it aloud. "Human Hunter, Earth's nominee for the selection of beasts, John Graves," Vark announced, his voice dripping with disbelief. "He will represent Earth alongside a group of pet bears, a polar bear, a grizzly, a Kodiak, and a black bear." The council erupted in laughter. 4 bears? How quaint, Counselor Drun chuckled. Do they mean to provide a circus act? Vark chuckled, but something about the courier's message lingered with him. The human, John Graves, had claimed to be the most skilled hunter of Earth, a man who had spent his life among the wilds, attuned to Earth's raw and untamed landscapes. He had vowed to bring the best of Earth's spirit to the selection. Despite the laughter, Vark found himself intrigued by this human's boldness. What would compel such a creature to enter this competition, knowing the strength of alien beasts? Word of the human's entry into the competition spread quickly through Xyrath. The galaxy's elite predators, champions of otherworldly beasts, began murmuring with renewed excitement and condescension. Many viewed it as a mockery, a human, with animals as outdated as bears, daring to stand among champions of venomous bloodhounds, fire-breathing Rechners, and armored skystriders. Back on Earth, John Graves, known among his peers as Grizzly, watched the sky with calm anticipation. He had trained these 4 bears since they were cubs, each one a product of Earth's primal essence. From the silent stalk of the black bear to the endurance of the polar bear, they were the ultimate symbols of Earth's wild spirit, forces that even alien arrogance couldn't dismiss entirely. He knew this competition would be a gauntlet unlike any his bears had faced, but he believed in their instincts, in their loyalty to him, and, most importantly, in their collective strength as a team. As John prepared to depart, his bears moved around him, each responding to his gentle commands. The grizzly growled softly, his massive form towering over the others, while the black bear waited patiently, eyes flickering with quiet intelligence. The Kodiak was restless, and the polar bear, proud and fierce, watched John as if sensing the gravity of their impending journey. "We're in this together," John said softly, running a hand along each bear's fur. "They think Earth is weak, but they don't know us yet. They don't know what it means to work as one." With a final, resolute nod, John led his team onto the transport vessel bound for Zyrith. As the ship rose from Earth's surface, he felt a tinge of pride at representing his home. The Zyrathians might not understand it yet, but John was determined to show them that Earth's strength lay not just in brute power, but in the bond between him and his animals. The arrogance of the galaxy's elite would be tested, and if he had anything to do with it, humbled. The vessel cut through the night sky, leaving Earth behind. In the glow of starlight, John steeled himself for what lay ahead. Feeling his bears press close to him, as if sensing the gravity of their mission, his resolve was set. Earth would not be dismissed so easily. The journey to Zyrith was long and silent. Encased in the cold metal confines of the transport ship, John Graves sat with his 4 bears nestled around him, their breathing a familiar rhythm against the hum of the ship's engines. He spoke softly to each one, as he had 1,000 times before. To an outsider, he might have seemed foolish, a human talking to beasts. But John knew better. Each of these bears was more than an animal to him. They were partners, friends, and in a way, family. They'd been through every kind of terrain and hardship together, from Alaskan blizzards to the swamps of Louisiana. Each bear had a different instinct, a unique strength that John had cultivated carefully over years of training. But he knew this time would be different. They wouldn't just face the natural challenges of Earth. They'd be up against the unimaginable beasts of alien worlds, things bred and engineered for killing, and Earth's predators, the so-called gentle giants, would be tested as they'd never been before. John started with Cody, his Kodiak bear, a massive, shaggy creature with deep-set eyes and a powerful build. Though swift and incredibly strong, Cody could also be reckless in his eagerness, charging headfirst into situations without assessing danger. John spent hours guiding him through advanced obstacle courses programmed into the ship, keeping his focus sharp as they moved through holographic projections of alien landscapes. Cody learned to stop, listen, wait, to stalk like a shadow rather than bulldoze through each challenge. When Cody finally conquered a complex maze designed to trap him with sudden obstacles, John rubbed his great head, whispering, "Good job, big guy. You're ready." Then there was Blackie, the black bear, smaller than the others but agile as a cat. Blackie was cautious, silent, and precise, a master of calculated moves. To sharpen his instincts, John devised a stealth course that mimicked Zyritha's dense alien jungles, setting up false predators and trick distractions. Blackie's challenge was to identify and eliminate the threats while staying out of sight. Each time Blackie succeeded, John offered an encouraging nod. "They'll never see you coming," he murmured, feeling a surge of pride as he watched the bear navigate each scenario with near-perfect precision. The grizzly, Boone, required a different approach. Boone was pure muscle, an imposing creature with a raw, overpowering presence. But power alone wouldn't be enough against the alien predators they would soon face. John worked with Boone to refine his brute strength into controlled bursts, directing him to use his bulk and force in timed strikes. "Don't just smash," John reminded him as Boone faced an energy field simulation that could only be broken at its weakest point. After several attempts, Boone struck the exact spot, shattering the field in a single, resounding blow. Perfect, Boone. One blow is all it takes. Last was Snow, his polar bear. The most temperamental of the 4, fiercely independent and highly territorial. Snow was naturally built to withstand the most severe cold, but Zyritha's biomes might throw environments she never encountered. For Snow, John set up a series of environmental simulations, each one more extreme than the last, to push her adaptability. Snow met each challenge head-on, her endurance as formidable as her pride. By the end, she gazed at John with that knowing, almost regal look that made him laugh. "You're the queen of your domain," he said, resting his hand on her powerful back. "They'll learn that soon enough." The days bled into one another as they trained, the routine interrupted only by brief messages from the Zyrith Council, cold, clipped reminders of the rules and dangers awaiting them. And then, just as John felt a hint of nerves begin to prickle at his resolve, a small group of alien representatives arrived on the ship to assess Earth's team before the competition. They were Zyrathians, tall and elegant, their forms rippling with colors that signaled disbelief. They watched the bears from a safe distance, their eyes gleaming with thinly veiled disdain. "Is this really Earth's offering?" one of them sneered, addressing John directly. "We expected something more evolved." John held his ground, fixing the alien with a calm gaze. "They're more than you'll ever understand," he replied. "When you see them in action, you'll know why Earth sent them." The alien representatives exchanged a smirk, though one lingered a second longer, curiosity breaking through his scorn. But they said nothing more, turning and exiting as quietly as they had arrived. John could feel his own anticipation mounting, and as he looked back at his bears, he sensed that they felt it too. They shifted, their eyes sharp and aware, instinctively attuned to the tension in the air. On the final day of their journey, John gathered his bears in the center of the ship, going over their drills one last time. As he worked, he murmured to each bear, his voice low and steady, speaking the words of encouragement he knew they'd understand in their own way. "You're ready," he said finally, standing among them. "We've done everything we can. Out there, we'll rely on each other, just like we always have. No matter what these aliens throw at us, we face it together." The bears responded with soft growls and snorts, their eyes trained on him with a trust that ran deep. It was a bond no alien could break or mock, a bond that made them more than competitors, more than hunter and beasts. It made them family. As the transport ship approached Zyrith, John felt the weight of the coming battle settle over him. But he was ready. They were ready, whatever awaited them in the alien arena. He would face it side by side with his bears, determined to prove Earth's strength to the galaxy. The arena on Zyrith was a wonder of alien engineering, an immense, multi-tiered battleground encased in translucent, shimmering walls. Designed to mimic the biomes of countless worlds, it had everything from icy wastelands and dense forests to molten pits and gravity-shifting plains. The air buzzed with anticipation, and the stands were filled with alien spectators, each unique species eager to witness the galactic hunt. John Graves stood with his bears at the arena's edge, taking it all in. His eyes moved across the different zones, noting potential hiding places and obstacles. While his bears sniffed the air, their senses heightened in this strange new environment. Boone the grizzly let out a low, resonant growl, his brown eyes fixed on the icy mountains that would soon be their battlefield. Snow, the polar bear, stretched her powerful limbs, white fur gleaming against the stark lights overhead. The sleek black bear, Blackie, prowled restlessly, while Cody, the Kodiak, stood alert and calm beside John, his hulking form a quiet reassurance. Above them, on a raised platform, High Counselor Vark addressed the gathered crowds. His voice, amplified by unseen technology, echoed through the arena. "Behold, the champions of the galaxy. Today, we witness the strength of alien worlds, the power of their apex predators." And representing Earth, he added with a wry smirk, is John Graves and his bears. A ripple of laughter spread through the audience, though a few aliens leaned forward, curious. John kept his focus, unperturbed by the mockery. He met the counselor's gaze with steady defiance, his mind already running through the strategies he developed with his bears. The gong sounded, signaling the start of the first trial. The alien competitors, each accompanied by their lethal creatures, moved into their chosen zones. John's team was assigned to a dense, forested section at the base of the mountains, where thick foliage provided cover but limited movement. He whispered a command, and his bears instantly fell into formation, moving with the silent coordination they'd practiced so many times before. As they ventured deeper into the forest, alien creatures from other worlds appeared in the distance. There was a six-legged predator with scales that changed colors, blending into its surroundings, and a massive insectoid beast with razor-sharp limbs that glinted under the artificial light. Each creature posed a unique challenge, but John's focus was unwavering. He gestured to Blackie, who quickly slipped into the shadows, his dark fur blending perfectly with the forest. Blackie moved silently, scouting ahead and relaying warnings through subtle gestures they had trained for in Earth's wilderness. The first encounter came as a sudden rustle in the brush, a flash of movement barely visible through the leaves. John raised a hand and Boone stepped forward, his massive body tense and ready. A razor-spined predator lunged at them, its mouth filled with rows of needle-sharp teeth. Boone met the creature head-on, his powerful frame absorbing the impact as he slammed a paw down on its spine with bone-crushing force. The creature shrieked, stunned by the blow, and Boone gave a final, decisive strike that silenced it for good. The crowd roared, a mixture of surprise and appreciation, and John saw a few aliens exchange glances, taken aback by Boone's strength. He allowed himself a brief moment of satisfaction before signaling the bears to continue forward. They moved deeper into the forest, where the trials grew more dangerous with each step. Snow, the polar bear, soon faced her own challenge. A thick fog rolled in, dense and unnatural, making visibility nearly impossible. A creature with flickering, bioluminescent skin appeared in the mist, stalking them with silent, predatory precision. John motioned to Snow, who moved forward, her white fur blending with the fog. She approached the creature with a calculated calm, waiting until it was within striking distance before lunging with lethal speed, jaws snapping shut around its neck. Her precision was perfect, and the alien fell limp, another triumph for Earth's team. The trial progressed, each bear demonstrating their unique skills. Cody took on a massive, plated creature by luring it into a narrow pass, then delivering a crushing blow that shattered its defenses. Blackie excelled in ambushes, darting in and out of sight, confusing alien creatures with his quick, quiet movements. Together, the bears moved through the trials with a seamless rhythm, adapting to each new challenge with a blend of raw power, intelligence, and teamwork. As they reached the trial's final stage, John could feel the crowd's energy shift. The initial laughter and skepticism had faded, replaced by a charged silence as they watched Earth's primitive predators conquer beasts of unimaginable design. High Counselor Vark's smug expression had turned to one of mild unease, his tendrils twitching as he observed John's command over his bears. The last creature they faced was unlike anything they had encountered. It was a towering, sinewy beast with multiple arms, each ending in serrated claws. It moved with unnatural speed, its body shimmering with a force field that repelled direct attacks. Boone tried to charge, but the creature deflected him, and even Snow's swift strikes were met with resistance. John's heart raced, but he quickly formulated a plan. He called out to his bears, directing each one with precise hand signals. Boone charged again, distracting the creature, while Cody moved to block its retreat. Snow circled to the right, forcing the beast to keep moving. At John's final signal, Blackie darted in from the side, finding an opening and striking the creature's unprotected flank. With the teamwork they had honed, the bears brought the creature down in a coordinated, devastating attack. The crowd erupted, their initial disdain transformed into thunderous applause. John looked up at the stands, meeting the eyes of the council members with quiet satisfaction. He didn't need their approval, but he wanted them to understand that Earth's predators, primitive though they might seem, were not to be underestimated. High Counselor Vark leaned forward, his expression unreadable. "Impressive human," he murmured, though John caught the reluctance in his voice. But this was merely the first trial. We will see if Earth's strength can endure the coming challenges. John glanced at his bears, each one worn but resolute, their eyes bright with determination. He knew they had more to prove, more to fight for. They had only just begun. The final trial loomed over John and his bears like an approaching storm. Rumors circulated through the arena about the creature awaiting them. A terror from the depths of Zyratha's wilds, unseen in the galaxy's public eye for generations. Designed as a true test for only the most formidable hunters, this beast was rumored to be nearly invincible, a creation of bioengineering with an arsenal of lethal instincts honed for combat. To win, John and his team would have to endure a challenge like no other. As they entered the arena, John scanned the environment. The last trial zone was a rugged blend of jagged rocks and scattered craters. Shadows clung to every crevice, stretching over the uneven terrain under the glaring lights. His bears moved beside him, each one attuned to the tension in his stance, their eyes gleaming with a shared readiness. They had survived together, learned from each trial, and now stood at the precipice of the ultimate challenge. A low rumble shook the arena, and from the shadows emerged their opponent, the Drexel beast. Standing on four heavily muscled legs, the creature was as large as a small spaceship, its skin an eerie metallic shade that seemed impervious to light. Rows of blade-like spines ran along its back, glinting under the overhead glare, and its glowing red eyes locked onto John and his bears with a deadly intelligence. The crowd stilled, holding its collective breath. Even High Counselor Vark leaned forward, his expression a mixture of anticipation and fear. John knew he would have to use everything he'd learned about his bears, their strengths, their trust, their bond, to take down this monster. He whispered a few steadying words to each bear, grounding them for what lay ahead. Then, as the Drexel beast thundered forward, he raised his hand and commanded, "Snow, draw its attention. Boone, Cody, circle wide. Blackie, stay close and wait for your moment." Snow, her white coat stark against the dreary landscape, charged with the ferocity of a creature twice her size, emitting a deep, guttural roar that echoed through the arena. The Drexel beast turned its head, distracted by her daring approach. Snow was nimble, dodging its slashing claws as she darted in and out, striking at its legs to keep its focus on her while Boone and Cody positioned themselves. With a nod from John, Boone and Cody launched a coordinated attack, flanking the Drexel from either side. Boone, leveraging his brute strength, struck first, smashing his massive paws into the beast's armored leg, causing it to stagger. Cody seized the opportunity, ramming the beast's other side with his bulk, trying to force it off balance. The creature shrieked a horrible metallic sound and whipped its tail around, forcing the bears back. Snow and Blackie regrouped, their keen eyes watching John as he gestured to reposition. They would have to work quickly, exploiting each brief opening with precision. Every move they made was risky, but their unity and training drove them forward, matching the Drexel's lethal attacks with a fierce determination. With a nod, John signaled the next maneuver. As the Drexel lunged at Boone, Snow darted in from behind, sinking her claws into the beast's thick hide, causing it to thrash violently. Blackie took advantage of the distraction, slipping in close to attack one of the Drexel's vulnerable joints. His bite landed true, drawing a spray of dark ichor that sent the crowd into a frenzy. For a brief moment, it looked as though they might have the advantage. But the Drexel wasn't finished. It reared back, a guttural roar ripping from its throat as it lashed out with renewed fury, nearly hitting Boone with a swipe of its claws. Cody, undeterred, lunged forward to protect his teammate, catching a glancing blow that sent him skidding back, but left him resolute. With the Drexel's focus divided, John spotted the creature's weak point, a narrow, unarmored gap at the base of its neck, where its metallic hide gave way to exposed flesh. He needed just one clean opening, one perfectly timed strike. Boone, Cody, feint. Snow, aim for the throat. John shouted, his voice steady. Boone and Cody surged forward, feigning attacks on either side. The Drexel turned its head, distracted by the false moves, and that's when Snow lunged, jaws wide. She struck with perfect precision, sinking her teeth into the exposed spot. The Drexel shrieked, thrashing in a final desperate struggle. But Snow held on, her strength unwavering. Blackie moved in, landing a quick, decisive strike to the creature's weakened neck, and at last the Drexel fell, a defeated Titan brought low by the teamwork of Earth's primitive predators. For a moment, silence reigned. Then, as if on cue, the arena erupted in a cacophony of stunned applause and cheers. Even High Counselor Vark, eyes wide with shock, seemed lost for words. John looked to his bears, each of them breathing heavily, their coats matted and marked from the brutal fight, but their eyes filled with pride and understanding. He stepped forward, resting a hand on each one, silently thanking them for their trust and courage. They had earned this victory together. With a mixture of awe and reluctant respect, Vark finally spoke, his voice carrying a hint of grudging admiration. You and your Earth creatures have proven yourselves human. We misjudged you. John nodded, meeting Vark's gaze with quiet satisfaction. They're not just creatures, he replied, his voice calm yet powerful. They're family, and today, they've shown what Earth's spirit is truly made of. As the crowd continued to roar, John and his bears stood tall, their bond unbreakable, their victory undeniable. They had earned the respect of the galaxy, not through sheer power alone, but through loyalty, strategy, and heart. And in that moment, Earth's strength was recognized across the stars.